Before that night, he was a 40-year-old nobody had heard of. No famous clubs, no big contracts, barely a highlight reel to his name. After it, people were asking one question. How does a man like that end up as the last one standing between Lionel Messi and history? For 19 years, he played in stadiums most fans couldn't find on a map. Small leagues, small crowds, small paychecks. While other goalkeepers his age were already retired, already forgotten, already writing books about careers that had ended, he was still lacing up his boots in front of a few hundred people, wondering if anyone was ever going to notice. Nobody scouted him as a teenager. Nobody predicted anything for him. He wasn't the goalkeeper coaches pointed to and said, "That one's going all the way." He was the one they simply didn't mention at all. But here's what nobody tells you about being overlooked for 19 years. It doesn't just wear you down. Sometimes, it builds something, a patience most players never need, a calm that only comes from having nothing left to prove to anyone but yourself. He kept playing, not for fame, there wasn't any. He kept playing because some part of him refused to accept that his story was already finished. Then, at an age when most careers are just a memory, he got the call. Not to a big club, not to a title race, to a World Cup, the tournament that decides who gets remembered forever. And on the other side of that tournament stood the one name everyone in football already knew. The player who didn't need luck or momentum or a good night, the player who simply was the moment, almost every time he touched the ball. Lionel Messi, a 40-year-old with no famous clubs, a 20-year legend with nothing left to win. Nobody expected a contest, but something happened that night that nobody had written into the script. Every time Messi drove forward, this man was already there. Not lucky, not guessing. Reading. 19 years of being ignored had taught him to watch angles other goalkeepers never bothered to study, because nobody was filming him closely enough to punish the mistakes. Save after save, he stood in that goal like the years hadn't touched him at all. Like this wasn't his first World Cup. It was the only one that had ever mattered. The stadium didn't know his name at kickoff. By full time, they couldn't stop saying it. Messi still got his moment. History still wrote itself the way it usually does for him. But for 90 minutes, a man twice the age of half the players on that pitch made the greatest footballer alive work for every single inch. And when it was over, the question started. Who is this man? Where has he been for 19 years? How did nobody see this coming? The truth is simpler than anyone wanted to admit. He hadn't been hiding. He'd been waiting. Waiting for one door to open after 19 years of finding every other one closed. Football likes to tell you greatness only belongs to the young. The wonder kids, the prodigies, the players destined for it since childhood. This is not that story. This is the story of a man who spent almost 2 decades being told, without anyone ever saying it out loud, that his time had already passed, and who chose on the one night it finally counted, not to believe them.